Hello, hello, hello. It is your boys, the DM podcast, once again putting that flavor in your ear. Now, we had a list of things we were going to talk about today. We did, right? And then 11 p.m. on was it a Friday night? Things just changed. 11 p.m. on Friday night, they said Woj is retiring and doing his own thing. So let's just break some news. Shams tweets out that there's rumors and it's coming that cat to freaking New York Knicks. That changes the whole pot. We're still going to talk about a few things, but we got to talk about that next trade. We have the 50 to 26 best players in the league. We'll go 1 to 25 on our next week, but we have the 50 best players going into this league. To the season, I would say we have other few notes, some Raptor conversations we plan on having as well, just because we are still Toronto Raptors centric. Shout out to Vince Carter. We'll talk about him. But yeah, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching the videos. Comment, make sure you comment and subscribe and everything. But before I continue on, how is my boy YS doing? How's it going?
You already know every day above ground.
Every day above ground. I know you're happy. No, I don't know if you're happy. That's a good question. I don't know. So we're gonna start off the bat. Let's just say the Knicks traded Karl Anthony Towns. No, sorry. The Knicks traded four, and they traded Julius Randle, DiVincenzo, and a first round pick, which ends up being a Detroit pick, which I think if they don't do will be like ends up being like second round picks because the draft pick is like 2025, and that's a 1 to 13 protected. So really you don't get the pick unless Detroit ends up being good this year. But who knows what that will happen. But yeah, your Knicks are your second favorite team. I know how you feel about Cat. Now it's together. So when I first sent you this message, because I sent you the message at like 12 o'clock at night, what was your first initial thoughts?
I'm like, I had to scratch my head because it's like, okay, New York, okay. You guys were having good chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Good chemistry, made it pretty deep, right? Didn't expect y'all to make it that deep in the offs, right? Same with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Good chemistry, made it deep. What was it, the West? Was it the West
Yeah,
Finals?
they made the West Finals.
They made it to the West Finals,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, okay. You guys both had successful seasons, in my opinion, right?
They did. They both had successes. Yeah,
Very
for sure.
exceeded expectations. Am
Right.
I correct?
Yeah.
Right? With injuries on New York side, right? And
Yeah.
you guys make trades, and you guys got Bridges, another guy that's going to add chemistry to your team. So I was just confused. Like, I was just confused with the GMs because, like, don't you guys want to at least give it to 2026 trade deadline to see how this works, like a 2 year and a half sort of to see what adjustments you need to make. Why would you guys make adjustments right now? And you guys made the furthest you guys have made it in how many years? I don't get it, right? Do I like the trade? I don't even know. I
One
don't
of
know.
those
Like,
weird
I don't
trades.
know.
It's weird. Like, should I like this trade? Do like you like the thought of the trade a little bit? Like you like the like I know for me, Carlton Towns is better than Julius Randle. So you're thinking, yeah, this should be a better fit. But you're also thinking, like, wait, like Karl Anthony Towns is I was probably much better than Julius Randle. Like his attributes are much better, a better scorer,
Yeah, he's
like
better.
a better shooter. Like he has so much better attributes than
Yeah.
him. So it's
It's just Randall has the toughness.
right, right, right.
Doesn't
Defensively, they're both liabilities. That doesn't matter.
yeah.
So, if this trade never happened, one thing we're going to do in the pod, which we'll probably do next week, is we're going to talk about teams like who had the most pressure, right? I'll give what I was going to say. One of them, of a guy who had the most pressure was Randall. I was going to say Randall has a pressure to fit in. He has to make sure he fits in with this new dynamic of a team. This team is Jalen Brunson's team. It is. It's Jalen Brunson's team. He's their
Now
number
it is.
one
This is
guy. Like it's not Julius Randle. Julius Randle did a lot for them. You helped them be honestly decent. He really did.
relevant. Yeah,
Like
he
yeah,
did. He
he
did.
helped them be relevant
He did.
ultimately.
He did.
So like I'm like okay, like you just have to fit in. Like you said, Bridges on the team, OG's on the team. This team made it. They're just not healthy. They probably would have beat the freaking
Pacers.
Pacers if they
Yeah.
were healthy. with everyone healthy at the time because the Pacers were still learning Pascal and Hallie was a little bit injured and things like that. And then you just like forget it. Let's just get Towns. You know, let's just get Towns. Let's just get Towns. And in Minnesota, you went to the Western Conference Finals. You have a pretty decent squad.
Yes.
So it kind of puts everyone for surprise that you would make this move, right? If you had
Right?
to say, I think it's a little early, but if you had to pick a winner, who won this trade? Or is it they both won?
I have to pick a winner. Oh man. I maybe would go with the Knicks, maybe. Maybe. Because Karl Anthony Towns is a more willing passer than Julius Randle. So he's gonna move the ball more and keep the offense flowing. With Randle, like he's aggressive, he'll take the ball to the rim, but he stops the ball.
Yeah.
So and you need Edwards to grow. So I don't know how that for chemistry wise, I don't know how that's really gonna work over in Minnesota, like because Randall's gonna need to give up the ball. You have a number one guy there.
We'll talk more about Minnesota than we'll talk about New York. 'Cause I think New York is the sexier team, so we'll leave that after we talk about
That's
Minnesota. Um, everything you said is correct. So Julius Randle, he does hog the ball a little bit more. Not even hog, but he's better when he has the ball more in his hands. He's just one of those players that like, and there's a few players like that. He can give you 2010 easy, like easy a 2010 guy. But he has to have the ball. Like he needs all those touches, And in New York, I don't know how much he was gonna get the touches, but it's different. I think Bridges and OG are gonna be more willing to let Karl Anthony Towns get those touches than Randall. When you think to yourself like Randall may be here, but if you're Bridges, you're thinking you're probably here
yeah,
at most, right? Cat, is here.
yeah,
And then your bridges are here, right?
yeah, yeah,
There's a
yeah.
play discrepancy. But this is the depth chart, and I think this is a pretty good depth chart for Minnesota. The starting unit will be Conley, Edwards, McDaniels, Randall, and Gobert. Still a pretty good starting lineup.
Decent. That's decent.
Their bench will be Dante
The main
Di,
thing you have Conley, so that's gonna be he moves the ball still.
right? He's gonna make it organized and keep everyone going.
Because
Now I
Brunson
think
isn't passing as much as Conley. Tell you that much.
Randall's still gonna get 20 and 10 on this team because they
You
still
think
need
so?
offense. They still need offense. Who's their offense?
They
Edwards
do.
can't do it
Can't be
all.
Edwards. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Gobert can't. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you're right. You're right. I
I
agree.
do think Edwards may be going for 28 a game, 30 a game.
He should be.
Yeah, I think now he's definitely going for that because you're taking that he had 27 last year. Is that the postseason or yeah, 20. Yeah, Edwards' numbers are nice.
But the
27,
thing
7,
is,
and 6.
here's the thing with that lineup. I feel like the spacing is going to be bad for Minnesota
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because if you have Rudy, he's not going to be on the perimeter. He's on the block.
Right.
Randall, he's not going to be waiting for corner threes.
Yeah. He's okay, but he's not like he's just not that. Like
I feel
Randall
like
had
Randall shoots 33% from three, and that I don't really need to close out on crazy. I can just
yeah, he last season he played 46. Yeah, see, Randall also had 25 points a game at one point. Man, Randall, he can get buckets. I
he
think,
can do it. He's a lefty too. He can do it.
yeah, he can get buckets. His
What was his 3 point
rebounds,
percentage?
sorry,
His 3 point percentage.
34 last year and 31 this year. He's not a great three-point shooter. And he
Wow.
shoots high volume threes, like
Wow.
high volume threes. Wow, I didn't know he shot this much threes. In 2022, 2023, he shot eight threes a game. He like averages, well, his beginning years will make it low, but ever since he went to the Knicks, the man darn near averages five 3 points a game, 3 point shots attempts a game.
He makes probably like 1.6, I want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, he did. Pretty much. That 2023, 2022, 23 season was a really good season for him. It was a career year, 25 and 10, like career year, shooting 34%. So that means you kind of have to keep them open. But yeah, so that's their starting unit. And then their bench is Dante DiVincenzo, Joe Ingles, Nas Reed, which everyone loves Nas Reed.
Nas Reed.
Nikhil Alexander Walker will come off the bench. Um, PG Dozer's not really going to come off the bench like that. But then you have the rookie like Terrence Shannon Jr. from Illinois, and then you have Leonard Miller, but you have Rob Dillingham. So I think Rob Dillingham's going to get some touches.
He
So they're
is. He
gonna
is. He is.
they're gonna tell him like him and Nikhil, hey, we need offense. So this team losing Cat, and I get it, you replace it with Randall, but you need more offense.
Mhm.
You need a lot more offense. Now, where do you see Minnesota in the West? Where did you see them before, and where do you see them now? Because I know for me, it's changed.
I see like second round. Like I don't see them going to the West Finals again. I see them second round this season. What about you?
I honestly like, and I'm not trying to even diss Randle. I think Randle's a solid player. I'm seeing more of the fact that like Cat was just better, and it's a mind thing, right? Like if I'm playing a Cat, I feel more like Cat can give me 50 in a game. Like Cat can give me 50. Like no hesitation, give me
If
50.
he's hot, yeah, yeah,
He can shoot threes well. He's pretty good on the block if he wants to be. Defensively, he's a liability, and he fouls like an idiot.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Right, and we'll get to say we'll get to the Knicks, but like, but then Randall will probably be smarter. Randall is a good player, but like you just said, he is a ball hawk. So part of me feels like I'm not sure about Minnesota this year anymore. And sorry, I should have brought up what you said originally. You didn't have to make this trade. Like I get money, like money you have to pay. You paid a lot of guys, and you don't want to overpay mans. But like Randall's gonna be a free agent if it's not next season, if season following. You have to pay him if you want to keep him. He's a good, solid player. You're gonna have to pay him
And
that.
he's shit with the contracts. You're gonna have to pay him a bag.
Right. You're gonna have to pay him something. You're gonna have to pay Julius Randle something. Let me just confirm Julius Randle's money. But you didn't have to make the trade. I agree. Either fine, maybe to wait until next year's trade deadline, but you wait until the full season. Let the full season go,
Thank you,
right?
thank you.
And I truly think it wasn't New York who called. I think Minnesota called. Like I think Minnesota's the one that said, "Hey, we can't pay Rudy, Cat, Nas Reed, and Anthony Edwards. We can't do it. So can y'all do it? Like, can we just make a trade? Because the trade wasn't a lot if you think about it.
No,
Wasn't a lot. I'm thinking Cat should have been given another trade, like maybe another draft pick or something. Randall is yeah, he's a player option, so he could become a free agent, and he'll probably be the best free agent out there. If I think about it, he's 31. He'll probably be the best free agent out there.
yeah, yeah. And he's gonna ball out this year.
I'm balling
Contract.
out. I contract. Yeah, you have to ball out. So that's where Minnesota's like, at least we saved money because Cat had another four
Contract.
years on
Yeah,
him,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
So as
Cat's
long
way
as,
more money. Randall's 30 mil, Cat's like 50. So when you think like that, I get it. But I just think if you're Minnesota,
and then plus Randall could walk, and if he does walk, you guys, it sucks for y'all, but you still have bread in the bank to get another guy. So
but I think you're also putting so much more on Anthony Edwards, which you want to do anyway. But like we all everybody needs help, you know, everybody needs help. I think Randall is a better number two than Cat is though.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Because Cat's a
Yeah.
good, could be amazing number two. So I mean Randall's I think would slide into the role better than Cat will. I think that's what I mean. Like, he'll be like, no, I will only get 24 and 10. And I'll be consistent in my 24 and 10. Where Cat will be like, well, Anthony Edwards, like, I'm kind of hot right now, right? Anthony Edwards is pass me the ball, right? Give him the ball. So I don't think it's good. Now with your New York Knicks, we'll go to them. Sorry, Minnesota, I don't know. I think like this hurt them. I think in a playoff series, I don't know who they're better than in a playoff series. Because,
Man, it's tough. It's
right?
tough. It's
Because,
the West is tricky. Yeah, it's tough. You're right. It's tough. Are they better
right?
than Sacramento?
Playoff series, I think that's a 7 game series.
Holy fuck.
It's a 7 game series, and you're asking who's guarding Randall. Because
Are
then
they better
Randall's a
than
mismatch.
Lakers, Clippers, Mavericks?
They're better than the Clippers. I think the Clippers are trash. I don't think they're better than the Lakers. I think Lakers are matchup dependent. If they don't see Denver, Lakers can match with anybody.
I agree.
Because Anthony Davis is still like arguably like what third best big in the league,
He's in the top 25. You got that right. Yeah, yeah.
right? So like he's good. So you can't like and LeBron is still freaking doing like LeBron stuff. So
LeBron is man's a cyborg at
right,
this point.
right.
Like,
So as long as everyone is well and like their X factor is Russell. Russell has a consistent year. that team is much better than people
Listen
think.
to what you said. Russell have a consistent.
That's
That's
the
he's
problem.
allergic to consistent. He's
Yeah.
allergic.
Yeah, that's the problem. If he was consistent, that's why I always think like imagine him as a sixth man.
Russell be a good six man, but the consistent his beard is not even consistent.
That's just wild.
Like like
Yeah, duh. Like he has to be more consistent because it's
this
not
guy will drop
consistent.
25 and go 4 for like 7 from 3 one game. Next game drop 6 and go
Yeah,
1 for 8
yeah. It doesn't make sense. And
and
then
not be aggressive. It's
yeah,
that's
no.
why Russell is like whatever. Like he's there, like he just as long as he can bring the ball up and not turn the ball over and hit
That
at least 36% from three, then what can you really expect from Russell?
like I would want Rui, like Patrick Beverly said this became a Laker comment, but like Patrick Beverly said something and I kind of agree. When it comes to the Lakers, like well, Rui Hachimura needs to be more aggressive. Like
Hmm.
he should be aggressive. Like I do agree when Mans are with their like back home teams, play like that in the league. Now, certain players like I don't want Schroeder to think he's fucking he's not prime Russell Westbrook. I
No,
want him to be aggressive.
100.
Like I want that aggressiveness. Like Rui is a 25-point scorer on Japan. Of course he has to be, but like that's where I think LeBron and Anthony Davis need to be like, hey, like be aggressive, man. I'm gonna get mine. I'm LeBron. I'm gonna get mine.
They're telling him in the locker room
You know what I'm
because
saying? Like Anthony Davis is gonna get his.
100.
Like
He's gonna get yourself the missed shots. So just put him up.
just throw him right.
Austin Reeves, he's got a big body. He can shoot. He's got a decent handle. He should be.
I would also want him to be because he has when he like drives into the lane and it gets really good at that like mid range. So he's a guy that I would want to play more. Um but yeah, so now the Knicks side. Your New York Knicks.
The New York Knickerbockers.
Their bench isn't gonna look as great at all. Um I was quickly listening to a podcast with Austin Rivers. I think Austin Rivers, I think he's good. I think some of the things that he says a little off. He said OG is like a power forward. Like I get it in this league OG's like a power forward because people play small. But OG is not a power forward. He's a small forward. He he can play up in size because he's big, but he's not a power forward at all.
No, no.
No, like you're not, yeah, you're definitely not saying, yeah, you're not relying on him to be power forward. Now with the Knicks, their starting unit is going to be as such. Mind you, their power forward on the Knicks depth chart on ESPN, I should say, is Josh Hart. He's their power forward.
I didn't hear right. You just said Josh Hart's power forward.
It's weird. I don't know why they make him. I guess because
He gets 10, 15 rebounds in the playoffs. That's why.
I guess that makes him the power forward. I guess. Okay, cool. I guess. But you have of course Jalen Brunson, Mikal, OG, Josh, and Karl Anthony Towns. Starting unit wise, this is a good starting ass unit.
It sounds like every man can be behind the 3-point line and you have to close out. That's what that starting unit sounds like. And any unit like that is has very good spacing.
The spacing is immaculate here. Jalen Brunson likes that like mid range and he likes that like going driving into the lane. Cat
Yeah.
won't get in your way.
Cat's gonna be chilling to wait for threes. You know that.
Cat's not is not and the way like Jalen Brunson will be your number one
OG too.
scorer.
So you're gonna have OG on the left side, Cat on the right side in the corner. You have Brunson having a screen up top, and you can have Mikal Bridges just be off ball because he's not gonna be a screener. He's just gonna be moving off ball because he can catch and shoot. So the Knicks have so much offensive
They do.
sets and plays they could do already, right? Because like Harkenstein couldn't shoot threes,
Yep.
right? So he was tripling the post. Now you actually have real spacing, real elite spacing, and you have guys that actually understand how to get open without the ball in Mikal Bridges, guys like that. Come on, man. New York's looking bright still. I'm not gonna lie.
They're good. They look like a good team to me.
They're looking bright still.
Karl Anthony Towns, he's now in the Eastern Conference, funny enough. It just makes him better. I think he's a good player. I do
Because
think he's a good
the
player.
Knicks are going to the playoffs. They stay healthy for the most part. They're going to the playoffs. The
Yeah.
Wolves are not a playing team in the East. They're in the six in the East, right? The Knicks. They should be. The Wolves. Can you say the Wolves are in the six in the West?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how this makes the Wolves better. Like, you're really saying that Ant's gonna have an MVP type season. Like, you're literally banking on Ant. literally scoring 34 points a game,
They have,
right?
yo,
Once again, like I said, Randle's a good number two, but you have to get him now. But now you put Randle and Gobert. Your closing lineup is still not going to have Gobert on it. You may try to go closing lineup as Randle as the five, and Randle at the five guarding freaking Anthony Davis
that's small.
or Jokic.
That's
It's not
small. That's
you
small.
can't do it,
You're
right?
cooked.
So I think the small ball lineup that Minnesota can, but you're gonna have to play Rondo at the five because that's what the Knicks were gonna do. But it's easy to play Rondo at the five with the Knicks when you have OG and him and Rondo are probably the same size, probably
More or
physically,
less. Just Randall
right?
has more weight, but more or less, yeah.
Right, yeah, but like yeah, girth and stuff, yeah, probably about the same. And it's just like, and you have McHale in him, and you have Josh Hart. Also, you have three guys who play significant defense, not just like good
But
defense,
still, the size kills. Size kills. Like you
right?
can be a great defender, but
But at
if
least
you
the Knicks
bunch
would
up,
have been better. The only guy that would have hurt you ultimately is Embiid.
yeah, yeah.
Like I
In
don't
the
think
East,
KP
like if
hurts
you
you
look
as
at the
much.
East, you have Embiid, big center, Miles Turner. Looking in the
Right.
East, right? Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know,
Like
man.
KP is the only one, but
AP will give you problems.
I think if you have size, KP doesn't hurt you that much if you have size.
Because size. But remember, those teams we call our playoff teams that they're going to be going up against in playoffs probably,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
Yeah, like where do you see the Knicks now? Do you see Knicks like top three? Well, we always kind of saw them as a top three seed, right? Always.
I see
So
this in the East. Who could be? Let's say I don't want to say this. Philadelphia is up there, right? Philadelphia. Who else is up there in the East? Who else in the East? Boston. They won.
Boston,
Boston
Philly,
and Milwaukee.
Milwaukee,
And then who else is there? Miami. I don't know.
Miami's good. I think the Knicks, like, if you tell
They're
me
probably fourth still.
if Dame is like not Dame anymore,
Mhm.
the Knicks are better than the Bucks.
The thing is, I feel Middleton's gonna have a revenge year. Like I feel that Milwaukee is gonna have more of a better season this year than last year because of what happened. So
Right.
I feel like Knicks are gonna be fourth. That's how I feel.
I think because it's the regular season and you know how players are, I think the Knicks will be. I can see them being second or first because of
Third,
the way
agree.
the season. I think like the Cavs will be good because Donovan Mitchell can win regular season
Regular
games.
season. Yeah.
He can win regular season games. That guy.
They'll win 50. They'll win 50 this year, 51.
Right? Like there's just one of those. They're too talented not to. But the Knicks, they're gonna work harder than you. Still gonna work harder than you. I losing Dante DiVincenzo does suck. That man had a career year shooting the three, like a career year. But you get
That's
Karl
the
Anthony Towns, who's like the
chemistry. That's the chemistry, but I still with Bridges, you still got Hart, Brunson, like Cat is not gonna want to piss anyone off. So he's gonna like, okay, Cat, this is your role. He's like, okay.
and Cat can still give you. You still got to score, right? And like Cat can get you easy buckets.
He will.
Like
So
OG should never be trusted to give you 25 points a game. He should never be trusted, right? Mikal Bridges, he could, but he's not the number one guy. Like we know that he's not a number one guy. So you don't put that burden on him because he's not the number one guy. Um, so but the Knicks, I think it's a good squad, man. It's a really good squad.
yeah,
Now their bench isn't the greatest. They have Cameron Payne, who I don't know what type of minutes he'll get, but he's the random guy that like he'll play a game and have 20 points. Like some one out of like 15 games, the man is having 20, just randomly. So Miles McBride, they like him. He's a good back.
Deuce.
Precious Achua, no, I'm not. Like that's not. I'm cooling on Precious Achua. I'm not gonna lie. But imagine defensively having Precious, Josh Hart, OG, McHale, and Brunson. That's phenomenal because Precious is a great defender. Great defender. Like
This is nice though. He is nice.
the thing is, Precious is a great like wing defender. Like he can guard a wing. Like oh gosh, I would. He's just he's a tweener, right? So his size is so weird because like oh you're big enough to be a small ball center, but you guards better. So it's kind of like one of those. And then Mitchell Robinson, I hear those rumors are trying to trade him too. Trying to trade him.
Oh shit, man.
There's constant rumors of like Raptors should go after him and trade Jakob Poeltl. It's like do you trade Robinson? You may have to. I don't think the money's that wouldn't
Like
work.
that's the same. Like we're getting the same. I feel like Pirtle's. a little better what
He is.
ball I do. Like
He is better.
he
But
gets his open
Robinson.
spots, and I
But
don't.
if
I
you're the
wouldn't.
Knicks, you may rather Pirtle
Of
defensively,
course, if you're the Knicks, you
right?
rather Pirtle.
So I don't know. It's gonna.
We're trying to get better. We're not trying to stay the same or be worse as Raptor fans. Shout out to the hat.
But yeah, but I think overall, just to kind of put a bow on this whole Knicks and random trade could have waited, but it does make them interesting.
It does. Random trade for the cap space, right? It's more for the cap,
It
but
really is
still,
legit a cap space shit. But I'm not a fan of, and I think you agree, like the early trade. Like it's just so early, especially
so
Minnesota, especially for Minnesota to me.
it's crazy that Minnesota, and I agree with you. Minnesota made that call.
They had to, because the Knicks are like, let's just try it out. We got OG and we got McHale. We already had a pretty good offseason. Like we pretty good. So we didn't call for Randle to trade Randle. Like, of course, they probably wanted to trade Randle, but they didn't call. They didn't call. There's no way. There's no way they called. That
My
that
boy
wouldn't make sense.
Dante gone. Shit, that's all good.
Dante. Villanova boy's gone, but then a rumor came that he was glad to be traded because he didn't want to like he felt like his role was gonna be diminished, which he's technically right about. Because it would have went Jalen, Randall, OG, Bridges, then him. At least in Minnesota, low key, is he not like the third guy?
He's starting in Minnesota? No,
He's
he's
not
not.
going to start though, but he could be the third
Who's the
guy.
sixth? Well, Nas Reed is the sixth man on the bench, so he's probably eighth. Is he eighth?
Not six. He's probably seven, dude.
Who's behind Nas? Oh yeah,
Because Nas comes off the bench, so then Dante would be the
yeah,
come.
he's
He'll probably
seventh.
come off.
Nikhil. I
With
was thinking Nikhil, but okay.
You're right. Nikhil could be there too, right? So Minnesota is okay.
So
Offense.
he's seventh, eighth, just like I was in New York if he was healthy though, if they were
So
healthy.
if they're healthy, you're still there. You just happen to be second to Jalen Brunson that whole time. So, but yeah, that's good for them, Minnesota and New York. Too early though. The next thing that we're gonna do, um, we're gonna do the main thing we want to do. Want to do? Do you want to talk about Cade Cunningham? I put that in our timeline. You want to talk about Cade, or you want to go straight to the top 50 to 26?
Let's talk about let's talk about Kate a little bit, but then let's hit the you know what I
So the
mean?
reason why I brought up Cade is because like I think we talked a little bit about Cade last episode, or maybe an episode before. We talked about Detroit, I think, just Detroit as a whole and what they did to Cade. And for some reason, like I go to sleep with podcasts, like just playing, and somehow there's a Detroit podcast that's in my timeline of podcasts that just play, and they were talking about Cade Cunningham, and I will say like what some of the things they were saying could be a little biased because they're from Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I can kind of see their point. And their point mainly was Cade Cunningham did not get as much love or help as a lot of number one overall picks. And they're naming a few guys like Victor Wembanyama has some solid players, and they gave him Chris Paul this year. In his second year, they gave him Chris Paul. Jalen Green got Fred VanVleet, got Dylan Brooks, got Jeff Green, got a bunch of center. Anthony Edwards still went into a team that had Karl Anthony Towns. They got Mike Conley. They got Rudy Gobert. So they set him up for him to succeed. Who another overall pick? Zion Williams. At the time had did he go in with Drew Holiday? No, I don't think. I don't think he had Drew Holiday first. Why do I think? Yeah, he did in the first year maybe.
Drew
But
Holiday. Who was it?
no matter what, he still has CJ. He's got CJ McCollum at one point, Brandon Ingram, JV. Like so much veterans happen. Scotty Barnes, our Scotty, Pascal, Fred, OG. He had a veteran thing to go into. Who has Cade had? Sorry, even Evan Mobley. He
Mobley.
had
Yeah.
Garland, had Allen. So who has?
What about Paulo? Paulo, he didn't really have veterans around him.
No, see, you're right. Paulo didn't, unless you want to say
All
like
young over there. They're all like
they're
23.
young, but he still had like solid like Wendell Carter, a little bit of Markel Fultz, um, and
Well,
still what's his name was he's still a year ahead.
I know him the
From's still a
Wagner,
year ahead,
Franz and whatever Wagner boys and
right?
whatnot. But
And both
Paul
got
Anthony's
right.
young, but like
So like so Paulo maybe is the only one you can kind of say would almost fit the category, but he's had a better. But who's Cade had?
I
What
think
vets?
Orlando in general compared to, you know what I mean, drafts better than
Yeah,
Detroit. Like, like who's Detroit's last good pick? Before obviously Cade is a good pick.
I think they would say Jalen Duren is good. They'll say Isaiah Stewart's good. Um, but there's no like who's Cade's running mate?
It's supposed to be Ivy.
It's supposed to be Ivy, but it's not Ivy. I don't think so. It's not none of your bigs. I think people don't like it. They have so much bigs.
It's not. It's not any of your bigs. Like he really
Because
doesn't really have anyone around him still. Like the players that's around him has to develop like the Ivy, the Duran. They have to
right.
develop, right? Stewart is he's in the middle, but he still has more upside, right? He's a
He
banger more
does.
though,
Yeah.
but
He has a lot of potential overall. So you're hoping something could come out of it. Um but yeah, like it's they don't have anyone. Like they don't have anyone to, but they don't have no vets. Like I named a bunch of teams that had vets to help them. There's no vet to like say Cade, like, I'm
no.
here with you. I'll
Who's their
guide
vet?
you.
Bagley? Marvin Bagley their vet? You
Right. And then
kidding?
you got Bagley and Wiseman. Why'd you get Bagley and Wiseman and you already had Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart for Cade Cunningham? Cade Cunningham needs space and shooting.
That makes no sense. Wiseman shouldn't realistically not be in the league right now. Realistically.
Yeah, low key, yeah. I hope
And then Detroit picks him up, and then you pick him up Tobias. So that's who you have around him. That's your veteran, Tobias.
that's your veteran now. It's Tobias Harris. I think they got Tobias and they got another person. Who they get? Detroit got
Is
someone
Boban
else.
still in the spot? The
I think they
European?
got but they got Boyan now. Like they
No,
they
these guys.
they don't really have a
What's
strong.
who's the GM? Casey? Casey's making these plays?
No. Someone else now is making these.
Someone, right?
Yeah. So like their starting unit would be Cade, Ivy, Asur Thompson, who's good, a good defender,
I like
Tobias
this.
Harris, and Jalen Duren. But everyone else is like Malik Beasley. They got you got Tim Hardaway Jr. This year. This is all this year. This is not like what you
Okay,
had
what
before.
I'm hearing right now is not dog trash. You see what I'm saying? It's all right. What I'm hearing
I think
right now.
Detroit can be good
All
this
right.
year. I
They're
think
all
Detroit.
right. They're all right. Like you have Dura, you have okay, Cade, Ivy.
Yeah, it could be good. I think if Cade is like
Hardaway
no,
Jr., he's coming off the bench to
he's
drop
off the
15 points.
bench.
You
Yeah,
know, I thought they
Malik
traded him.
Beasley, and they have Ron Holland, who they put as a small forward, but I swear he's more of a shooting guard.
You know why they traded him, right? Did he get traded to Detroit or he
Who?
left? Hardaway
Malik
Jr.
got traded because they
Okay.
traded. Then they got Grimes and they traded Grimes to
You know
Dallas.
why he got traded from Dallas? Because he was breaking every fucking shot in the playoffs. They're like, fuck this. Fuck this.
They didn't want him anymore. Holland is 6'7". It's not bad. Ron Holland. He was supposed to be the number one overall pick at one point. He was supposed to be somebody.
Still opportunity to be somebody. Still young.
I'm just gonna react quickly that Minnesota just scored a touchdown. It looked very easy to them, like very easy scoring this touchdown.
I hope it wasn't JJ that scored it because I would have put him on the ticket as anytime TD scored.
It was another guy named Addison
Okay. Okay.
that still hurts. It was a very quick touchdown. This Minnesota team is oddly good, and no one knows why.
Surprising. I'm gonna say
They're
surprising.
oddly good. No one thought they would be this good. People thought Chicago when everyone thought Minnesota would be the worst, but it's one of those like Sam Donald leaves the Jets and he's now like free. He doesn't have that pressure. Like when you don't have that pressure, like it can change you. It can
Sure.
definitely change you. Yeah, so I just feel like you know what, like they were right. Cade hasn't had as much help. He really hasn't. He's had the guy said Cade's had the worst situation out of all young guys. I think that could be right, man. Who's had a worse situation than him?
I would agree with that because the players you have around him up till to present day right now this season, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Like, and it says like one of the worst in the last like 10, 15 years. I'm like, yeah, Trey Young had like Clint Capella, he had Bogdan, like he had a few guys to kind of.
Yeah, he had Bogdan, he had Clint. Did Clint come over? He was already there. No, he had who was there before? It was my boy. What's his name? Oh man, he's on the Jazz now. Why am I not remembering his name? John Collins? Is it
Oh yeah, John Collins. Yeah, you're right.
John
Yeah, John
Collins?
Collins.
And he's a
Um, yeah, so he always had like the guys around him. Luca had Dirk. He had Dirk. He had JJ Barea. Like he had mans like to help him
he had
along.
real mentors, like real mentors.
Like
Like
that
you have a top 50 greatest player Hall of Famer, first ballot as a mentor. Who's over there in Detroit? Ben Wallace is hanging around.
Right. Like that.
Is
I'll
Billups
say
there? Is
Karl Anthony Towns.
Morris?
Karl Anthony Towns had mentors. He had KG, but I think Karl Anthony Towns just wasn't good enough. Like he
He's
wasn't
too
good enough.
soft.
He didn't have that.
Mentally, I
Yeah.
feel he's too soft.
So
He's too soft.
When they had Jimmy, like things they didn't do nothing when they had Jimmy, right?
There's
So
no
you know that
chemistry when they had Jimmy. That's why there was no chemistry.
right, right. And you had Thibodeau too. So people are already thinking Thibodeau was such a hard ass on Cat when it was before. So how is he going to be with him now?
That's a very good point. But I
That
feel like Thibodeau has bigger fish to fry. He's not the main focus
right.
anymore like that. It's like, okay, we got Brunson now, you know what I mean? Like our season last year. So it's like they have an identity. The Knicks have an identity, actually.
Oh, but I was gonna ask this question to you. If Cat, because Louis said Cat sometimes he fouls, he does some stupid stuff. So you need him to kind of smarten up. But when it's like crunch time, you're still gonna need him. But like, is there a world where if Mitchell Robinson's still on the team, you go Mitchell, OG, Mikal, Josh Hart, and Jalen in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, or do you feel like you have to play Cat?
In a tight game, I do not want to go with Mitch Robinson because I do not want him at the mother loving free throw line,
That's
smoking free throws.
that's true. So you play
Right?
Cat no matter what.
It's a judgment call. Like if he has 5 fouls, then I'm putting in the last, let's say, 2 minutes.
Or you can also play Precious.
Okay,
Because
all right. Precious
Precious
is a better defender, anyways, and
better
he's
defender, and then his free throw. The thing is, if with Precious, like he has all the tools. I really do think so.
what's
His
his free throw? Is it
mechanics
in the
are
70s at least?
he had better shooting mechanics than like Pascal does. His shooting mechanic, like
He does. He
that
does. His
ability,
form is good. It's a good form. Yeah.
it's not bad. Let me look at Precious's stats real quick. But yeah, well, like I said, with Cade, it's not good. His free throw stats in Toronto, he's man, his good season, he was like 70%. Wow. He's at 64% shooting the free throws.
64%.
So he's always gonna hit one for you.
That's okay. It's
It's,
not horrible, but it's not.
yeah, it's not bad. Oh, Jordan Love is actually playing. I thought he was gonna sit out, man. I kind of think he
Mm,
should have, but this is like is oddly enough a big game for them. And yeah, so I don't know. I hope something good happens. You made a ticket today?
I'm gonna make one anytime touchdown score because I got caught up today,
Hmm.
and everything in the morning and stuff. So
No, makes sense, makes sense. I definitely want to know your evening time. So we talked Cade. Let's go to. I don't think we need to talk about Kawhi's hurt. What's new? Like respectfully, what's new? And Chris Middleton, they say they're just being cautious with him. He's not healthy. He's not like 100%, but they're just going to be cautious with his knees, which I
yeah,
agree. Like, let why you don't got to rush anything. You don't have to rush anything at all.
you definitely not have to rush anything with that squad.
Like, just you have a good squad. You have, to me, I'm saying, yo, Gary, you saw the amount of people that wanted you, right? You saw it? Nobody. This is your season, right? There's teams with money next year, and honestly, there's not a lot of like quality next year for the free
Yeah,
agents.
there isn't. Yeah,
Be someone who's undeniable, in my opinion.
shoot 40% from three, in my opinion.
Whew, shoot 40%. Oh my goodness, this man will get paid if he could shoot 43,
He's
40%.
capable. Very capable of doing that.
He is very much so. Very much so. Especially if like he's gonna have not so high volume because there's Giannis there, there's Dame, there's Chris Middleton, there's even Bobby Portis. Like, we're not gonna ask you to score a lot.
He's gonna if he gets 4 attempts up and he's hitting like I want to say 1.8
Yeah,
out of four, then
yeah, he'll get signed.
yo,
That's fine. And he's still only like 24, 25. He's still
that's
young.
it. He's not
Yeah,
even 26 yet.
yeah, he's still young. But I think the question with him is like, is he a starter or is he better off the bench? And like,
If you
I
him
don't
though,
know.
he's coming off the bench. We know this. He's not.
Yeah, he's probably still a better bench guy. Okay, we're gonna do our top 50 players. We're doing 1 to 25 next week, and this one will be 50 to 26. I know when I made the list, it was like my list, it was hard.
This
Definitely
is
hard. Like I named it all the way to 60 just because I just named a bunch of guys. Ours, it won't be perfect. It won't be perfect, but and it's our list, right? And I'll say for my list, what I did was I thought about dominance, you know, who can do the most with nothing. I
Yeah.
test. I call it this a scare factor. Like, who's scary, man? Game seven, who's that guy you don't want on that other end? Who's gonna kind of, uh, and who can control the game? That's how I made my top 50 guys. So the guys who just missed the list for me, just to kind of mention, is there's a few guys, but like OG, Mikhail, Draymond, Jared Allen, KP, Derek White, because I'm not boosting Derek. I like Derek White. I'm not
Yeah.
boosting him the way like everyone's boosting that guy.
Okay.
I'm not doing it. Murray, I missed, and
Wow.
which kind of could be a diss. I
On
get it.
my list.
It mean he's on your list.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense because like he was 53rd on mine. I'll say that. It wasn't like he
Okay.
missed it completely.
Okay.
LaMelo was 52nd.
Wow. You're dissing. You're
Yep. And then number 51, who I almost regret, but I regret it a little bit, is DeMar DeRozan. That was my 51.
yours not. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and
I'm just saying you're dissing.
I hope I love DeMar, so I hope I eat my words on that one for sure.
Wow.
So I'll give you my 50 to 45, and then you give your 50 45.
Okay.
Sound
That's
good?
good.
50th player on my list of who I think is like the best players going into the NBA season, Evan Mobley is my
Okay.
50th player.
Okay.
Good, solid, big. People thought he was going to be the fucking next great. Clearly, he was not. So,
He's still decent. He's still decent.
very decent player. Especially in the future, I think he'll be really good. I have
Depends.
Desmond Bain as my 49.
Okay. Okay. I'm surprised
Uh,
you put him on because you and Desmond Bain.
I like Desmond Bain. I think he's a little overrated. I like Desmond Bain. He's good.
All right.
Uh,
Well.
48 is it's a lot of young guys here. Franz, I think Franz is 48. I think he's a good player. I think he had a bad shooting year last year, but I think sometimes it's growing pains. This is growing pains. Um, Sengun is 47 for me.
It's a good pick. He's 46 for me, which is crazy.
So he's a good solid player, but you're waiting for the future of him. I had Jalen Williams, so J Dub, as my 46th person.
Okay.
And yeah, then 45, I'll go 45 the thing. So that's my 46th person is Jalen Williams from the OKC. Before you tell me yours, what major list in the sense of like what was your categories? Like mine, like I said, was dominance, can do most. What was yours?
Mine is just basically that impact on the game, you know what I mean? What they can do for any NBA team plus their own team. So
Hmm.
that's what I went by still, right? And my 50 to 45 is I got number 50, Lori Marketing.
Oh, okay.
49 is Fred, Steady Freddy, 49. 48, Miles Turner.
That's a, oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. The thing is, he's one of the most underrated players now. People don't, he's,
That's why I put him.
yeah, he's one of the most underrated players.
Because he's the ideal prototype center for
Perfect.
any team right now. Block shots, hit threes, can run the floor. Right? It is what it is.
He can play in the fourth quarter and everything. Like,
Yeah,
he's good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I agree.
Um, shoot, this boys. Okay. Um, we got after Miles 47 is Porter, Michael Porter Jr.
Wow, okay.
and 46 is Alfred Sengun, and 45 is Mobley.
Evan Mobley? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, my 45
Words.
is Cash Money Chris. I had to go Chris Middleton as my 45th because I still believe in like what he's done in like in the past. And I think he had a bad season, but I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. I have BI as 44.
Yeah.
I think he's becoming a little like not underrated, but underappreciated. Like the man can get buckets. I think people are kind of being disrespectful to him.
Guys, yeah.
He just doesn't fit a lot of teams. That's kind of the unfortunate part because he can score the basket and like you almost don't want him to. But I'm thinking he would be so good on the Lakers to me. Like I don't think I'm crazy. I think he'd be so good on the Lakers. The Packers missed a field goal just now. I think I'm just gonna like throw my laptop.
You can see me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was looking at the Packers and they cheesed me. So yeah, 43 was James Harden.
Okay, Harden, shout out. Shout out.
Um,
Silent this. I hear you.
42nd was Drew Holiday. 41st was Cade Cunningham,
Cade is on the list, as he should.
as he should. Yeah. Who's your 45 to 40
Uh,
or 40?
45 to 40. Well, Mobley was 45th. I got 44. Shout out to Tobias Harris.
You really put Tobias that look there? Oh,
Yeah,
he's not even
yeah.
on my list.
I hear you, but it is what he's okay. He's okay. Tom 50. 43, KP.
Yeah.
42, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Mm.
41, Jarrett Allen.
You know, I was thinking about that guy, but I was like, no,
Should. And 40 is Spicy P.
you're disrespectful. But okay.
I'm disrespectful?
Spicy P 40th.
Wow. Like I feel like the guys that got under kind of yeah.
I would so mine is 40th is Rudy Gobert. 39 is Jamal
Okay,
Murray.
that's just Rudy. Okay.
So Jamal Murray 39. I put Chet at 38 because I'm thinking going into the season, he's gonna have a good season. That's something. That's why I picked Chet. Um,
Okay.
37, Julius Randle. 36, JJJ, because I think, he's solid. JJJ is solid.
He is. He is. He
Uh,
is.
Trey Young, 35th. Laurie Marketing, 34th. Scotty Barnes, 33rd. Now, with Scotty, I ain't gonna lie. A part of me feels like, am I being a homer? And I like Scotty. He's an all-star and everything. I
Was
feel
yep, yep.
so, but he's my 33rd. Uh, Darius Garland, my 32nd. Now, my 31st is gonna probably surprise you, but not surprise you because of the way I've talked about him before. Paolo Banchero was my 31st player.
That's a good pick though. He's on my list.
Yeah. I just realized I went 10 deep. I went 40 to 31st. Now you can go 40 to 31st.
Okay. My 39 to 35, Julius Randle.
Yep.
31.
Yeah.
38, Scotty Barnes. 37, Brandon Ingram.
Mhm.
And 36, DeRozan.
Ooh. Okay. I feel
I'm
that.
trying to get back my screen because I can't even see you right now,
Mm,
which is crazy. But you can see me.
I can see you. Who's your 35 to think?
35, I got Harden.
Mm.
I got Jamal Murray, 34. I got DeJounte Murray at
Ooh.
33. 32, I got Drew Holiday.
Mhm.
31, I love this guy, Chet Holmgren. And at number 30, one of my personal favorites, last name Ball.
That is a crazy high for that guy.
You're nuts. Like this guy changed the Charlotte Hornets.
That guy should never be this high. Uh,
You're I don't I disagree. Like I disagree so
he's
much.
overrated, that guy.
I
Um,
disagree so much.
so my last five, so I'm not gonna say 25th, 25th will be next week. So my last ones is Zion is number 30, because yeah, Zion's number 30. But
Okay.
Zion's the type of person that could be fucking 10th if he wanted to. But
Yes.
Zion's 30, Pascal's 29 to me.
Okay.
Mind you, I tried to put Pascal higher, but I realized it's just going into the season, there are guys who are going to be better. So
I
I
agree.
have
I
to
agree.
do that. Also, even when we make this list, a lot of these guys are in the same like field. Like it's not like just because like Rudy's 40th and Randall's 37th doesn't mean they're not in the same fucking tier. They're really almost in the same tier. These are
It's
just
true.
almost, some of them are just numbers, right? Like it's just they're all together the same tier. So Maxi was 28th.
This guy has max at 28. That's
Yeah,
very good.
yeah, I think Maxi's 28th. I almost was gonna put him higher, but then I kept thinking about other guys. 27th is Dame,
Okay.
and my 26th and final person is Paul George.
Okay. Okay. Let me continue off that, man. Let me continue off that. For 29 for me, I got Cade Cunningham.
He should be high, man. He should be. He's a very talented player.
You know who I got at 28? Which is funny? Cat.
Mm, mm,
Cat. Yep. Yep.
yeah.
27. You called him at 26. Maxi.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
and my
I
20,
Max at 28, so it makes sense.
oh yeah, Maxi 28. Oh yeah. And at 26, I got Paulo Banchero.
Makes sense.
So the 25, the next 25 is gonna be definitely, harder. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like I left room for the 25 elite players, I feel, right? Part of me feels like I need to put Paul George. I'm gonna put Paul George in my 2-5, right? You already have him in your
Yeah, I'm telling you, he was like original, but it's because there's certain guys that like I had to name. Like some guys you think about like, oh, like where would you put Fox or Sabonis or AD like Donovan Mitchell, Booker. Like you start naming names and you're
a
like,
lot
oh
of
shit,
you put a 25. Yeah, yeah.
right? So like it's and then I'll take the one person who I thought about a lot was like a Jason Tatum. Like where do I put Jason Tatum?
He's gonna be in my 10, like in the
He'll be
10.
in my 10, but like sometimes you wonder yourself, the man won a title. He's this, he's that. But you look at his game, you're like, you know what? Like a lot of people, I forgot who said it. Was it Richard Jefferson who said if you put Donovan Mitchell on that Celtics team, it's the same results. It's the same results if you put him on that
You
team.
really think so? Like same as us as winning a title?
That's what I'm saying. Is winning a title is winning a title.
That's different results. Like when you mean going to the playoffs, like
And like Jalen Brown, I'm not Jalen Brown. Jason Tatum's a better defender.
yes. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think like I don't know. And we'll and you still got Jalen Brown. Is Mitchell gonna help Brown do what he did? I don't think so. Playoff ball,
What
get the
helps Jason
rebounds.
Tatum and what Donovan Mitchell can never have, ever have that what helping Tatum as well is his height.
Right,
That also
exactly.
helps. Size helps.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's the name of the game. Size
It
helps, speed kills. That's just what it
does.
is.
Like,
So
I don't know.
you see it in football, you see it in football every Sunday, every Monday or Thursday. Speed kills, right? On routes, what happens? Footwork, speed kills.
right. For sure. For sure.
So
So that was our list of 50 to 26. Now, we'll just leave it off more with our Raptors. We'll talk a little Raptors. The rookie Jacoby is hurt. He has like I forgot it was like his arm. I know his arm's in a sling right now. So and then Bruce Brown was also hurt. So more than likely,
Brown, wow, that guy's gonna should be just to be the mascot. Just
like Grady Dick is most likely going to start the way that it's looking. Unless they want to go more defensive and you start Ochai Agbaji, which I
no.
don't think that'd be good because he
We need
doesn't.
to score points.
Yeah,
OG
he can't
Abaji
shoot
is
three.
whatever.
If he was a 36% three-point shooter, you would start him, right? Darnay, even if he was like 34, you'd be like, you know what? That's 1 out of 3 a game. Like 1 out of 3 corner threes a game.
Or guard,
He's good
like shoot,
defensively,
you should be able to shoot threes. Like how tall is OG Abaji again? Is he
like
6'4"?
6'4", 6'5".
You
But
should be
he's
able to
he's
shoot.
big. Like he's one thing. He's a strong guy. So you
That's
would expect
unbelievable.
him to do better. But yeah, you know, I did want to ask, do you have the big three guys? You have RJ, you have Scotty, and you have Emmanuel quickly. People do not like that quickly contract. Do not like that quickly contract at all. They hate it. A lot of people don't like the Barnes contract. Now, when you look at all three guys, you're the coach. What type of stat lines do you want these guys to have for this upcoming season?
Honestly, like the thing is, I I don't care that much about stats. I care about wins and going to the offs. right? So if they're averaging like 15s, 10s, 120, and it's like 5 and 3 and whatever, I'm okay with it. I don't care who really is the leading scorer, who's the leading rebounder, who's the leading assist. I want us to be like Indiana. We don't care. We just want to win, right?
I think that's like the the Popovich mentality is that you should never care about those things ever. Tim
Just care about
Duncan
getting the best shot in that possession for the
at the
team,
time, man.
playing the best defense in that possession for the team. Just play like and I like what you're saying, but I feel like when you give players too much, okay, I'm gonna need you to do this, like I'm gonna need you to get like 20 and 10, or I'm gonna need you to get
Right,
around. It puts in their head, okay, I got it. If they're not scoring, if they're not getting the rebound, it's like, damn, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
right,
But if your team is up by 15, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, which
right.
is winning the game.
Yeah.
So I'm
Like,
kind
why
of
would
like
it matter to you? Like, if oh we scored 20 but we lost, like I guess I get my bag, right? And this is where I think Gilbert Arenas all those they argue all the time. Do you care about winning championships or care about getting the bag?
you care about both. As a real player, you care about both. You want to get paid for what you do
Right,
exceptionally, and you want to win rings. I'm
right.
not going to have one time I'm like, yo, I care about money. I'll go to the Pistons and spend 15 years there and get, I don't care about winning and just whatever, right? But as a real player, you should care about both, in my opinion, not one or the other, not ring chase and not bag chase.
Like, because I think you'll, no matter what, you'll get both. Like, Danny Green still got paid. Like, KCP still got paid. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like these guys haven't gotten paid. Like, these guys are getting paid still. Bruce Brown, no matter what, won a title and made like 40 mil. Like, you know what I'm
And he
saying? Like,
was a part of that team winning the title. Man seen him playing defense and getting
right,
to it. It
right.
wasn't like he was on the bench riding.
This
So
Minnesota has scored again. Now it's 14-0 for Minnesota.
who
About
scored for Minnesota right now?
just now, his name is Josh Oliver. Who do you
Okay.
need to score?
I didn't make a ticket. I'm just
Oh.
wondering if my thoughts were the right
Mm.
corresponding thoughts, but and it isn't, which is good. I didn't pick anyone for that, which is
But yeah, like I agree with you, right? Like who's the leading scorer matters like for clickbaiting and like conversations. People to argue like, oh, this guy's better. He averages 25 points a game. Because the way this team is, it's gonna be equal. Like I don't
good.
think Emmanuel Quickly and RJ and Scotty they're all gonna score 20 points a game. And whoever's hot is going to be the one who shoots, who scores the last basket or whatever the best play is. But when you look at Euroball, that people like to hate sometimes, that Euroball matters, right? They Boston won the title. Freaking Drew Holiday had a 20-point game. So did Derek White. So did Jalen Brown. Arguably the best player on the team is Jason Tatum, and he scored the worst.
He wants to score in the series. I know. He was just really getting his assist bag up type. Like, okay.
Like that's what makes a squad good is when like you don't care who gets the buckets and like who gets the shine. Like, yeah, the main player is gonna get, a star player is gonna get 20. They're just gonna get 20.
We're gonna
But
get
they should never care to get the 20, right? Like that's not how it works. Like it worked back in the day, I think, like with Shaq and like Kobe and them, because you had such all these role players. Like Robert Horry is not gonna ever tell you to score 25. Because that's not the type of guy he is. Where this game, a lot of Mans scored 20. Dante DiVincenzo can
definitely,
score 20,
definitely. Like
right?
this new NBA, these guys are shooting a lot better, a lot higher clip, right?
Right.
So
So like I think with the Raptors, I feel like the best overall scorer is RJ Barrett. Overall score. He can get to the basket better. He can shoot the three at a 37 to
yeah.
38% rate. Like he is overall better.
Because if
Scotty's
you get
more
in a situation, Raptors, you're the coach. 5 seconds left. The ball's going to RJ, right?
RJ or quickly to me.
I'm more going with RJ.
Right.
I'm going with RJ than quickly. Like quickly's a little smaller too. RJ is more body. What is RJ like 6'7", 6'6"?
6'7", 6'8", easy.
He's close to 6'8", right?
Yeah.
6'7", 6'8". So I'm going left. I'm going RJ. Stop this.
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he can create a shot better than most
Yeah,
on the
Inter
squad.
Barnes too. Yeah, like he's the best shot creator on the Raptors right now. Yeah, definitely.
The way he played for the Raptors, everyone who watched RJ play the Raptors was like, "Oh shit, this is a pretty good version of RJ." Right? And playing under New York, it's the bright
Pressure,
lights.
pressure,
It's
pressure.
so much, especially being the third overall pick and the first two mats ahead of you were Zion and Ja.
Oh shit, that was the order, right? Oh shit, that was not a bad draft
Not
for the
bad
three.
draft at all, at all, at all. But like, and then who was after you? Darius Garland.
Yeah,
So to people, they're like, man, we could have had a Garland. Who we could have had a Zion or this. First of all, if you're the New York Knicks and you had Zion, would you be happy? Would you be happy right now?
I don't know if I'd be happy right now. Still, like everything works out the way it's supposed to work out.
If you
I
had
think I'd go
Ja,
with Garland.
if you had Ja, you'd be happy. But no, no. You would,
Less
bless you. But you would be happy with Ja the first season. But that gun charge shit, would you be
that,
happy?
that gun charge, especially in the state of New York.
Which is illegal. Illegal. It's not Memphis, where it's like everyone can have one,
It's not the South, where the South is a little. The rules are a little different in the South,
right?
right?
So New
Holy
York fans are
shit!
not happy about that, right?
You
Especially
can't be
people like,
you can't be doing that on the East Coast. You can't be doing
come
that on the
on, man, you
East
can't be doing stuff in the East,
Coast.
especially for like teams like the Yankees, where the Yankees you can't even have a fucking beard if you're on the Yankees.
Oh shit!
You can't have a beard. Like New York's all about being
Yeah,
organized,
New York, you're under the lights, like Memphis. Like obviously, it's a big city and all that, right? But it's like you're not hearing about Memphis. You're in Europe. You're hearing about, oh, I want to go to Memphis or I want to go to New York.
and these
Where?
places like New York is, I think an East Coast thing. East Coast teams don't care about a star. They don't care about stars. They like stars, but they like the hard work guy. They love Jalen Brunson. Love that man. That man's probably the number one like athlete in New York right now.
Hard work that pays off, not just guys working hard. Like,
Right. They like
yeah,
the fancy. They like when Carmelo came. They like that guy. But you know why they love Jeremy Lin? Because he came from nothing. That's that New York mentality. Came from nothing to become something.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Us,
yeah.
us in Toronto, we like that too. We like our favorite players are the ones who freaking like
With JYD,
battling.
like if you
Yeah,
see JYD in the streets right now, downtown Toronto, be like, yo, JYD, what up? We're hailing him.
yeah.
And
We
he's
like
chopping it up with us. He's chopping up with us.
we like guys like that. The ones who like they're the grinders. That's what Memphis. They like that
We
stuff.
like Tyler Hansbrough on the Raptors, that grinder. We like Hansbrough. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought it
I
was
don't
gonna
know
be
if they just
21.
got an interception or the ball dropped, but either way, this game's looking really ugly, like really
While
ugly.
you're talking, it sounds like I need to make a ticket. So I'm gonna make an anytime
And
touchdown.
it was a bad pass by Love. It was a really bad pass. He
Injuries
passed
affect
it,
them.
yeah, because he passed it in the middle to Watson, and like his on respectively, his body got split. Like he went like this just now. Like it was not a good pass.
Shit.
Oh, definitely an interception. Oh yeah, his like,
Did you
oh
see
god,
how the Georgia Bama game ended yesterday?
yeah, crazy.
Bro, and he threw the same pass twice to the same man.
Crazy. College football is a thing.
Yeah,
It's a
it's it's
thing, man.
it's serious.
When people say, "Oh,
High
football,"
school football in Texas state alone is, you seen the stadiums for high school football in
crazy,
Texas
it's
alone? High
crazy.
school. It's like the Argos are playing in something like this. So this is high school.
The states care about football. They care about football. They
Wow.
love football. Like that's why when people go like, "Oh, the football's gonna die in 20 years," man, I don't think so. The
No,
way the
not
South loves football, nah, man,
even
that's
the women in the States are sporting football. They know players, they have their rocking their jerseys and stuff. I'm like, really? Like, yeah.
yeah. It's football is a thing, definitely a thing. Um, Last thing, Vince Carter's retirement on November 2nd. His jersey will be retiring. Um, they said there's gonna be a park, or there already is a park on Dixon, I think, in Toronto.
Oh, that's
That
that
it,
Dixon?
I
Oh,
think
Jan Woolner.
I forgot where that they're putting it.
Jalen Woolner. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it has the
so
VC backboard. I see the VC on the backboard.
yeah, so it's gonna be like called like a Vince Carter court or something, and then he's gonna retire with them. A lot of people wanted Kyle Lowry. There's rumors that people like the officials, like some of the people who work for the Raptors, really wanted Kyle Lowry to be the first one. I think that's so irrelevant who the first one is. Do we know who the first person who retired on the Boston Celtics were
No,
or the
I have no
Lakers?
idea.
Like,
I have
why does
no
that
idea.
matter? It doesn't matter.
For all
He
we know, it could be George Mikan on the Lakers. We don't even know.
like it just doesn't matter. The man, everyone's Kyle's raising game retired regardless. We all know it. Okay.
Colin D-Rowe.
I hope DeMar gets retired,
They need
right?
to retire D Rose jersey. Like, Bosch too,
I agree with the Bosch one, but they won't retire Bosches.
because he wasn't there that as long. And
And the number he wears, they won't do it.
what
He
number
wears
was
four. Who wears number four right now? Scotty.
shit? Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't
It's
do that.
it's 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 basically the mellow Denver thing. Like
So it's Lowry, D-Row. Yeah, Carr's already, but it's Lowry and D-Row. Who else?
you think Pascal?
Honestly, yes.
I
He
think
was
so too.
definitely a part of us winning the ring. He was there. He was there after. He got traded and he didn't want to leave. So yes.
Right. Like I
Any man that put in work, and I'm sorry to interrupt,
no
for the
no.
Raptors, put in work that did not want to get traded, did not want to leave, I would retire their jersey. Straight up.
Me too. I
Easy.
think his leg went like this and bent. Like that is a ugh. That's not good. That is not good. This Minnesota team, they're clearly a good team. I don't know what it is. They're defensively, they're good. They're like, I think the Packers shouldn't have started freaking Jordan Love. I fully don't think they should have started Jordan
Playing
Love.
for a little couple of weeks type shit.
Uh, yeah, but yeah, like Vince Carter should be the first one. I don't care what anybody says. Some people say it's a hot take. No, man, Vince Carter's the best Raptor of all time. It's recency bias. It's recency bias. Some people are like, oh, Kyle never left. Da, da, da. No, they were going to trade him, and he was going to leave. He was going to play for San
No choice, yeah.
Antonio.
Yeah,
San Antonio said no to him. This is
bro.
before DeMar even left. He was going to go. He
If
decided
it
to
was
stay.
not for VC, would we be talking about Raptors like this to this day? Probably not.
Would they have a team still? They lost Vancouver.
Yeah, yeah, actually, that's a good point.
They
Vince
lost.
Carter at the time in 2000, 2001. Let's say 2001. Vince Carter in 2001 was bigger than Kobe Bryant,
Easily.
bigger than Tracy McGrady.
No question.
He was, there was a point in time Vince Carter was top three player in the league, top five player in the league.
I think he was number one in All-Star voting.
Oh, shoot.
Like Vince Carter was a person. That's what I'm saying. It's such a recency and
It's
young
crazy.
person bias to me to say Kyle Lowry. Like and
It
like
can't
like,
be
like
Lowry.
you just like Lowry more. Like I get it. We just like him more.
Vince Carter has things where it's like he was in the Olympics jumping off 7'2" guy. That's never going to be done again.
Yeah, no.
The dunk off, the last great dunk off was what? The VC, T Max, Steve Francis, everyone that dunk off, right?
Yeah, well, the last
And then
great
what
one
was the
was
best dunk off before that? The Jordan and Dominique
yeah,
showed up,
yeah.
right? We only talk. There's only three dunk offs we talk about. Jordan's first one, and then Spud Webb one, right? That's
And then
Dominique and
we got to talk about the one that 2016
okay,
silver.
the Zach LaVine. So only
Yeah,
four dunk offs we talk about really. The Zach, the 16, the old one or 99, whatever, and then the two in the 80s.
yeah.
That's it.
Vince was Vince was a phenomenal Toronto Raptor, man. I don't care. Kyle won a title. I respect it. Kyle did his thing. He stayed, but yeah, Vince was. He's basically like he did bring up all of us growing up. He just was. He was a number one guy. Like Vince Carter
Definitely.
was a lot for a lot of us.
I don't like when people say like it's not Vince Carter. It's crazy. They probably weren't watching Raptors games at the times to see like, okay, Raptors will go to Clipperland, right? And the stands will be full up. Why? Because they want to see Vince, they want to see the highlights.
Right. People
You
were
go
wearing
to
Raptor jerseys
you go to
elsewhere.
yes.
Nah, man.
Charlotte, he would go any team, he would go San Antonio, whatever team, and they weren't even popping. He would go, the stands were full up. Why? VC was there playing. He went to Cavaliers before LeBron was there playing. Stands were full. Next game will be against the Jazz. Normally on the Jazz, stands empty.
Vince Carter
You're
was
bringing revenue to other arenas, and it's crazy when people think like, "Yo, he's not the best rapper of all time." It's just
that's right.
crazy.
Like I get what people say, but at the end of the day, freaking what's his name? Magic Johnson is the greatest Laker of all time.
100%.
Like 1,000%. Like I'm sorry.
When
Like
people say Jerry West, okay, I'm not gonna hate Jerry West is the logo, but
no, when people say
he's
Kobe, when they say Kobe, I'm like, okay, like he's not. Magic is Showtime, okay? Magic is why y'all think y'all are like the best franchise in the fucking world.
exactly. I love that exactly.
Like
Kobe's
Magic,
a great Laker.
Magic
There's
made
been a
it.
lot of great Lakers. Don't get it twisted, but yeah, yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, no, no. It's it once again, Kobe was Kobe. But Magic was Magic, man.
I
Magic
was
was that guy.
I was watching the funny thing. I was watching the YouTube short, right? And they were talking about Magic, and like, yo, what was he doing in practice? Was he just saying, "Coach, let me get the ball. Let me just practice my passing"? Because he was just diming. And remember, this is 79, 80. Didn't he win an MVP as a rookie
No,
or
I
Finals
think
MVP as a rookie?
he
Was it
won a
Finals
Finals
MVP?
MVP as a rookie.
Who's done that?
He's the man. The man. Magic was a thing. He was a person back then. Man, he was a person. Kobe, he stayed. That's what makes him like he stayed. So did Magic, but he
I didn't say it.
stayed.
It was just the AIDS. Just the
Like
AIDS.
he stayed. So like it was. Yeah, but I definitely Magic was. It's like saying, well, if he stayed longer and like his career didn't end up the way it did, like it's like saying Derrick Rose would have been the best Chicago Bull. No, he would have not.
You can't like
Like he would have not.
you can't say like
Sorry.
when you say Derrick Rose best Chicago Bull and then Jordan played for Chicago is just kind of crazy to
You
me still.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Kind of
bro,
like I don't
sometimes we just gotta chill. We just have to chill. Like not everybody is this person. It's okay that someone is not this.
themselves themselves.
Right, right.
It's okay. We don't have to
We,
say this is he's
we don't gotta boost. Like some people are already saying like, oh, Luka's the best Mavs player of all time. Come
with
on.
no ring.
Man, do we miss
Get
did
the why?
did Dirk
Dirk
leave?
getting Dirk was over there. They remember they called him man Disco Dirk for a reason. He was dancing. He had you dancing with the up fakes and the shoulder fakes.
Dirk was a problem. Dirk was definitely a problem.
Man played for 20 years for the franchise. Has a statue. I think has an MVP. Has a ring.
Luka's gonna
Luka
break.
has no MVP right now. Has no ring. Hasn't been to the finals. And we're saying he could be the best Maverick of all time already. This is
Like
just
as
crazy
I'm saying, like it's too early.
because he's
Like
getting assists and
let's
rebounds.
wait. Like let's wait. Let's chill out. Let's just all I'm saying is just chill out.
When he gets a statue and he plays 20 years for the franchise and he has a ring, we'll revisit that.
Yeah, then we talk.
Well, let him get two rings. One ring, okay, you're on par.
That's
But
true.
get another ring, get an MVP, get a
That's
Finals MVP.
that's true.
Like the disrespect around Dirk with that is just to me is just crazy.
We just have to wait. We just have to wait. That's all I'm saying. Just wait. Be patient and let's see. We don't just give man's titles.
The best Bulls of all time player. I get Rose won MVP, it's youngest ever. I get that, but doesn't mean you're gonna be the best. Oh, okay,
Like
whatever.
Shea has to win a title for him to be the best OKC player. But if you go OKC and Seattle's entire like lineage,
You gotta separate them. You gotta go Seattle and then you gotta go OKC. You can't.
but they connected, which they shouldn't. But they said if they do bring a Seattle franchise, they'll give that legacy back to them. So OKC will have its own legacy again. So
It
I think
should.
that's fine. But they have that because like basically the Grizzlies have Vancouver's legacy.
Yeah.
So and who else? I think the Pelicans have. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I don't
Legacy.
know. The milk that this Minnesota team is they scored another touchdown. It's 21-0. I'm distraught.
Automatic check on a ticket.
Like I'm distraught. I don't get what's
Who
happening.
scored for Minnesota?
It's the same. This guy named Addison he scored twice, and then Jefferson scored before.
Jefferson scored?
Yeah, I think so.
So I
Yeah.
really should have made a ticket.
I don't know
He
what
was
the team's
definitely on
gonna
the
score.
anytime.
I don't know. Offensively, they look really good. Defensively, they look good. I don't know. Just it's not looking good for the Packers, let's say. It is not looking good. And they're at home. Packers are at home.
Oh
So
shoot, then she oh man, they're in Wisconsin and they just get
like that doesn't make sense. Yeah, but yeah. Okay, but that is it for the pod for this week. We have a lot more to talk about next week. Hopefully, there's not another trade at 11 p.m. Make sure everyone's watching that WNBA because WNBA is I love WNBA. It's the second round starting today, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lots of fun this second
shout out to
time.
the WNBA. I think the New York Liberty has a collab with Off-White.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on,
Wow.
where's team's Clark on again? Liberty? What team is that again? What team
Clark?
Shannon? Yeah, Caitlin.
Um, Indiana.
I swear this was a New York collab. Okay, but she got a jacket. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, and it's like a good the four unit, like the Liberty and Vegas Aces. That's a second round matchup. That's going to game one. That's going to go down the wire. Even Connecticut and Minnesota is going to go down the wire. I want Connecticut to win the whole thing personally because Connecticut, they're the Boston Celtics in the sense of like, mind you, Connecticut's is it in Boston? I think Connecticut and Boston or
They're in the same
Massachusetts.
area. They're the same area.
But Connecticut has made it to the finals or made it close to the finals multiple years. They've had the two people in Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bonner who like have been immaculate for the past like few years, and they keep going. Fired their head coach, like keep going. Nothing's happened. This year they have a shot. They have a pretty good team. But Minnesota with Nefessa Calder have been really good this season, and Liberty been the best team in the league. So I think are the defending champs. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I hope a lot of things for them. But yeah, that's it for the pod. We will have more for next week. I do believe this NBA season's upon us. This maybe in our next pod we can even talk about the preseason games because there's gonna be some preseason games on February. Not February,
Yeah, yeah.
Friday, October 4th. We'll see.
Don't
Anything you want to say?
Nah, man. I'm anxious for this.
You're anxious. I'm angry. The Packers are losing. I'm cheesed.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
yeah.
But like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys again. Peace.